Did you get the blackmail clips from my old Twitch account? What? Did you get the blackmail clips from my old Twitch account?
No.
Oh. Oh, they're gone. Yeah. That would have made good blackmail, hi. Kitty. That's my seat, kitty. Kitty, 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 cat. Kitty, kitty. Kitty, kitty. Kitty. Oreo. Yo, I gotta sit. Alright, you're about to get kicked off my lap, man. Oreo. Oreo. I gotta sit. Yo, you're really... Seriously? Okay, come here, you little bastard. Alright, everybody. How's it going? Hope you're all having a lovely day. Just gonna get these set up here. Turn everything on. One moment. Yes, that is a kitty in my lap. That is a kitty. It is a little... Oh, we got 46 people watching. Look at that. Okay, give me 1 second. I just got to turn some things on. Okay. All right. Okay. Hey everybody, how's it going? So today we're going to be working on a MacBook. This MacBook is an A1706 and it says it has a question mark folder. As you know, these machines have the solid-state drive soldered directly onto the board, which really sucks, and it makes it difficult for people to get their data back if they have an issue. And in the past, when this was an issue, you would just unplug the drive, plug it into a different machine, and see what happens, to try to do some diagnostics on it. On these machines, it is fairly difficult. It is also going to be okay, thank God. I thought this was one of those cases where it was actually adhesed onto the bottom. Luckily it wasn't. I absolutely cannot stand those cases. Let me just put the camera up a little bit here. And open this thing up and see if we can figure out what's wrong with it. So how's everybody doing? How is everybody doing? Yo, this is something else. I remember when I had 40,000 subscribers and I used to live stream board repair, I would get 600 concurrent viewers. I have 100 people watching this at 1.7 million. Is that not a fake number or what? Okay. Why do they do that? I think they do that to try and make the machine slimmer, and also it's probably cheaper in manufacturing to have it that way. I think that may be cheaper in manufacturing. But you would have to ask Tim Cook. I don't think he's going to answer my phone calls if I ask him, if you know what I'm saying. So I'm going to open up the bottom of this thing. You are not getting a shirtless board fix. That is not happening. That is. I also don't know if I'm actually going to fix this one. I thought this was a RAR channel. I don't know what this channel is, to be honest with you, anymore. I have no freaking clue. I kind of lost the plot in 2013. Okay, so what I was hoping for, what I usually hope for, is that there's a little line of whoops. No. This? Yeah, here we go. I'm usually hoping that there's a little line of liquid damage down this area over here, because in this section over here, when you have liquid, it usually stops the SSD from getting 2.7 volts, and that is often why it doesn't work. So the fact that there's no liquid over here really sucks. I'm going to look over that in the microscope just in case, and I kind of hope and pray. We're going to use some hopium and some copium, that there is liquid over there that maybe I missed, because that would be lovely, because that would then give me some idea. Gotta find a way to test a 2017 Pro 13-inch without a high wattage USB charger. Just buy a charger, man. If you're gonna be doing this for a living, it's not gonna kill you to spend a little bit of money to have the right tools. Usually there's a hope that on this section you have a nice little... Yeah, but that's not there. You do have a solder blob. There is a solder blob, you know. It is a Mac after all. At the end of the day, this is a Mac. So you have your standard lovely build quality over here. Yeah, look at that. Freaking solder blob. A lot of the time, the solder blob actually tells you where there was an issue. So when you have a solder blob someplace, what the solder blob does is it tells you that that is where something got hot or that's where something died, and it is an interesting little piece of troubleshooting information. So they said that it's not seeing the drive, or it's turning on with the question mark folder. Now, I may be jumping to conclusions here simply because I've had this issue happen so many times. This may not actually be a case of the internal drive not working. It could simply be that their operating system is corrupt, and I'm very curious to see if that's the case before I jump to a conclusion that I shouldn't be jumping to. So let's turn this thing on and see what happens. I was really hoping that it would be liquid in that area or a blow in that trace, because if it was a blow in that trace, it would be an interesting board repair. Whereas if it's a corrupt operating system, that's actually very, very boring, and there's really no fun in that. Either way, I'm going to get an operating system from the other room, and I'll be right back. I used to have a test OS on my desk, but I don't know. I don't fix anything anymore. So, now, there's usually a couple of ways that a job like this goes. The first thing you do is you look for liquid on the right area, right where you have the... there's this one trace that always tends to go bad for... Oh, I need a fucking dongle. I forgot about that. God damn this piece of shit and its fucking dongle. Here we go. Grab a dongle. Piece of shit dongle. Anyway, so the first way is you usually have a little bit of corrosion over there on the right side. I believe it stops 0.9 volts or 2.7 volts from going to the NAND. The second thing that usually happens is Piccolo dies. Piccolo is a chip that powers the SSD. The third is that the SSD or the controller are dead, in which case that goes to somebody else to handle. So here we go. So as you can see, it does not see any of those. I'm going to boot it into my operating system, and we'll see. I subscribe for the walking around Ghost Town, New York videos. A lot of people do. A lot of people did. A lot of people were here for the real estate. Yes. I believe that getting Tim Cook as new CEO for Future Motion would be an upgrade for the company. You're not wrong. You're not wrong there. I think you're right. That probably would be an upgrade for the company. Apple is not nearly as bad as Future Motion. Future Motion is way worse. A MacBook does not brick itself if you unplug a battery. Thank you, Austin. Okay, we're booting into an OS. This is boring. actually quite boring. I believe that this is a dead Toshiba, or a dying... This looks like a dying A1369 Toshiba SSD from 2011 that Paul's using here. Beautiful. Just watched your latest video. I didn't know that channel, but you opened my eyes a little. Thank you. Have 75 Uruguayan pesos. Thank you. Okay, it wants me to connect to Wi-Fi. A critical software update is required for your Oh, no. Oh, no, not this critical update shit. So critical update can be literally anything. It can be T1 chip, Berkelium. It could be random corrosion, bad touch bar. Literally almost anything. Who cares if you can fix the SSD? Real question is, can you do a handstand on the Mac board? I don't think I could do a handstand. One moment, I actually forgot my Wi-Fi password here. Wow. Okay. A perfect timing. I have a chapter that's been needing my attention. Thanks for the live. Thank you. I don't know if this is going to be a fun stream or not. If this is really critical software update, this is probably going to get tossed to Chris. Chris loves critical software update. A critical software update is required, but a network issue isn't count. What? Yeah, this is going to be annoying. These are really annoying. Let's try booting into a different OS. Yawn. I chose the wrong ticket. Hoping to have some kind of fun little board repair to do. Chris is a masochist. He really is. Surprised he has not quit. Okay, we're going to grab a different drive. Be right back. We are going to grab a different drive. Damn, this is lame. So lame. I chose the wrong freaking ticket. I have not worked with a Microtech router since 2014. Okay, I'm going to grab another one. A different drive. Yeah, I need a boot drive for an A1706 that has a newer OS. Help, hi. Here we go, another boot. Help, hi. Okay. Da-da-da. This is all old operating systems. Have you seen the movie Whiplash? Never. It's my favorite movie. This is seeing the movie that suggests if you truly want to master your craft, you must put your craft before all else. Before your friend, family, romantic relationships. Do you agree? I don't know if that's true, but I know I kind of did that. I don't know if it's true, but I mean, that was what I did. I kind of did it because I didn't have a lot of that stuff going on when I was a teenager anyway. Thanks for the stream. I picked up an A1278, upgraded RAM and SSD. Anything else you should look for? Your hard drive cable will be dead within the next 2 to 3 months, so get a spare hard drive cable. You'll need it. Any tips for tool sets for private use? I don't know what you're going to use a tool for, so no idea. Just buy Buy good rather than buying cheap. If you buy cheap, you'll just have to buy it again anyway. I don't know what you need the tools for or what you're doing, so I can't really recommend a specific tool. I would just say don't cheap out. This is really dumb. I may take the board out just to take a look and see if there's anything funky or corroded in there. And then if there's nothing funky or corroded, move on to the next one. Is macOS really that stupid that I can't actually see the Wi-Fi password I typed in? You gotta be shitting. I must be missing something here. Okay, watch. I'm gonna type in. Actually, no. Fuck that. I'm gonna type it in and then I'm gonna. What's wrong with me? Okay, so I typed in my Wi-Fi password. If I want to see what I just typed in, like, how do I do that? All I see is dots. I can't see if I typed in the right password, which I really want to see because this keyboard sucks and it's very easy to type in the wrong password. You gotta be shitting me. Come on. This is a trash operating system. It just works my balls. Yeah, I already did a video on that Micah, but nobody watched it because this channel's dead. Okay, so yeah, this is doing the critical software update loop bullshit. So let's take the board out and see if we have any sort of obvious damage or corrosion, and if we don't, I will leave this for later because these are very, very shitty to deal with. Paul will have a lot of fun with this. So you get a T3 and a T5. Because this is one of those things that could be almost literally anything. It's kind of like Error 27 on the older iPhones. I own this Xbox Series X. Question, do I have to buy Samsung external drivers? Their workaround? I have no idea because I have not used an Xbox since the original came out in like 2000, 2001. I have no idea. I'm really sorry. I feel bad. You asked a paid question and I have no qualification to answer that question. Free Destiny. I agree. Free Destiny. Regarding that politician that talked about death threats made to him, do you think he's stupid, has zero principles other than interest, or something else? I think it's just an ego thing, because I've been there myself, and I think it's an ego thing. I think, I think he doesn't like the tone that I spoke in that video. I don't think he liked that people emailed him to correct him. I don't think he's used to people correcting him about anything, and I think he was fishing for reasons to defend his ego. It is what it is. Welcome to politics, you know? You can't really afford that if you have a very niche issue. Like Patriot Act, COVID shutdowns, other stuff, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff where that, that's not going to get in the way of things. But for an issue like this where you really have, very, how do I say this? Minimal vocal support from the public, you really can't afford anything like that. Long-time follower, we love your attention to details. What are your thoughts on NFTs? I've always thought of NFTs to be kind of a scam, but then somebody said, well, wait a second, how is that a scam? That's just a different way of sharing art. What about when people spend $250,000 on a painting of something that somebody threw at a wall? Why is that not a scam? And I'm like, well, I always thought that was a scam too. It's just that that's kind of something that people kind of accept in society. Nobody really... you go to... There was this one piece I'm never going to forget in the Museum of Modern Art. It was labeled a piece to be stepped on. A piece to be stepped on. And it was like over $200,000 or something like that. And it's, why is that not a scam? $220 for an external drive. Can you look into it when you have time? I almost never do. Have time. I would find somebody that knows the answer to it. So for instance, the coder, he deals with video game consoles. I would ask the coder. He has a YouTube channel where he does repairs and he deals with game consoles. He probably has an answer for you already. But I don't know if there's a way around that. Who let you fix a MacBook? I don't know who let me fix a MacBook. Nobody else is here. Except I guess Hi-Hi, if Hi-Hi counts. Does Hi-Hi count? But right now I'm fixing a MacBook, so I'm not able to look into the answer to that question, because if I did, I would stop fixing the MacBook. And I got to fix the MacBook. I'm probably not going to fix this MacBook because it has a critical update error. I'm really hoping it's corrosion around, Touch Bar or T1 or something like that. That would be beautiful. Obviously it's not going to be that because that would mean that I picked one that's remotely fixable. That's not going to, we don't get that lucky. This is going to be one of those ones that we wind up spending 3 or 4 hours on, and they just don't make good streams. They don't have a good storyline to them. You're just kind of throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks. Have you read my story yet? I have not read the entire thing, Anne, unfortunately. I've disappointed a lot of people over the past few weeks. Let's see. Where's my small tweezer? Okay. This. Yoink. That's T5, T3. I don't think Paul likes critical update either. Paul is not a fan of doing streams when there's no clear and obvious answer and path to what you did, when you're just kind of like throwing shit at the wall. Honestly, I'm not either. And like critical update loop with no corrosion is really just going to be throwing random shit at the wall. That sucks. A lot of the times it has to do with a T1 power chip. Make great streams when I'm writing. Oh, thank you, Anne. I'm glad I can be of some use to somebody. Okay, here we go. There's another T5 over there that I was missing. Let's see. Alright, what do we have here? Now, I don't like unplugging this without the charge port on. It triggers me. So I always take these screws out over here. And because what's annoying is the charge port, it connects via this little FPC kind of connector to the board, but it's very easy for it to pop out of that connector, and it always does. I mean, it's very easy for the plug to pop out of the connector, and it drives me insane how easy it pops out. So I leave it there with the screws on it, because I prefer it that way. Okay, so we just separate all this. Separate you. And there's no way to perform the critical update because it'll give you an error, VGM Moose. It's a mirage. Do not perform the update. There's no update to perform. It'll never work. You can use any external drive with an Xbox. I don't use Xboxes, so I'm honestly clueless there. If he long screws a fan, I'm out of here. I long screw all my fans. All night long. I don't think I've been a blessing to anything, Anthony, but I appreciate the compliment even if I can't agree with it. Okay, we take these screws over here. I accidentally ordered parts to the store like an idiot. Huh? What do you mean? Also, one thing you may notice is that this little rubber piece over here likes to try to escape. Don't let it escape. Don't let it stealth. Do not let the charge port stealth. They attached it more firmly in the newer revisions, but in the older revisions, this little rubber piece, it likes to get away. It's very good at running away. It's exceptional, actually. So what we're going to do at this point is we're going to look over the board and we're going to see that there's not a single piece of corrosion on the entire thing. And then I'm going to say F this and leave it to Chris to reball Berkeleyum. and then he's going to be mad. But that's kind of unfair. It's actually very unfair, but let's see. Okay, we're going to give this board an honest look over. So, is there anything remotely obvious? Let's see, what do we have? Of course there isn't. Of course not. God forbid you actually have a basic hint. Yeah, this is going to be bullshit. Yeah. Are there any hazardous materials you encounter doing board repair? I don't know. Define hazardous. I guess, some of this stuff is hazardous if you eat it, but you gotta kind of be an idiot to eat it. I suppose the first things first is if it's not seeing the built-in drive, I am going to check around the Piccolo area. Piccolo. Lifeboat. Again, so this board seems pretty clean. Yeah. Actually, I take that back. What is this shit? Why does it... Twitch viewer is screaming right now. Ah, fuck Twitch. Twitch can eat my ass. Garbage platform. Okay. So, yeah, there's a lot of... What is this? It looks like... Yeah, something's there. That's weird. It's actually easier now that I'm only reading one chat. I don't have to focus on another window. Much prefer it, honestly. Maybe they cleaned this. Somebody... Oh, that would suck if this had liquid damage and somebody cleaned it off. Then you can't see where it originated. Alright. Well, I'm going to get sucked into doing a rabbit hole here that I probably shouldn't. Because I'm not very smart. I feel like I'm going to get pulled into working on something here that's probably dumb to be working on. Maybe we'll just take a look at some piccolo voltages. Yeah, just a couple of piccolo voltages. Yeah, what's the worst that could happen? Just a couple of piccolo voltages, right? Okay, port schematics. 820-00239. Where can I open this in Flex Board View? Paul Daniels' Buggy Board View software. You can open Flex. And where's this buggy shit? Get over here. Okay. Bada bing. Got a nice board view software. Any idea Note 9 LCDs that are in $200 to $300? You work on desktops. I don't work on desktops because nobody was going to pay you to fix a desktop computer in 2022. Note LCDs, no. The reason I don't deal with Samsung stuff is because it's all very expensive and the customers think that you're ripping them off, not that the screen is expensive, and they all scream at you as if you're personally ripping them off. So rather than get cursed out all day long, I just tell people I don't do Samsung LCDs. It's much more productive for me to say I don't fix Samsung LCDs than to say yes, it's $400 and get told fuck you all day long. That gets depressing. Getting cursed out all day, honestly, is really depressing. So, okay, so let's take a look. Flex schematic. 1 second. I gotta make my PDF and my board view. Where is my... One moment. Paul Daniels' software is not showing up. Ah, here we go. Just a couple of little issues here and there. Okay, so I figured might as well turn it on and see if the SSD is getting used. That's the most... we're getting power to all its different rails. Maybe it's a good old Piccolo failure. Piccolo. There we go. It's on. Multimeter on. Okay, let's check a couple of things here. Okay, so over here you're going to have what's supposed to be, I believe, 0.9 volts. What do we have? have... Oh, that's feedback. My bad. That's not what you check for that. I'm being a dumbass. You should be checking on R9320. That's a much better place to check. R9320 down here. Pin 2. Whoop, I clicked the wrong thing. It happens from time to time. No biggie. You just correct it and move on. I do not have 0.9 volts. Let me just make sure that the machine is turning on. I'm just going to have my meter here. Okay. 20 volts, 800 milliamps. This is indeed turning on because I don't know. I could also measure it over here as well on the top of this capacitor. And that'll make it a little easier for me to get to. I hope your day picks up. Have a tea. Thank you, John. I really appreciate it. I'm just drinking water today, but thank you. It's very kind of you. A lot of the PCs brought in at work are desktops. I don't know. It's hard for me to imagine people paying me to fix a desktop. It's like, you know, but... Okay, so 0.86 volts. That is close enough to 9. Close enough for rock and roll, I'd say. What else do we have? What other rails are here? SSD hot. Just gonna check all these, make sure that the little Piccolo is doing its thing. Piccolo is a common failure, so I just want to rule it out before going to anything else. Alright, SSD hot is there. How about SSD fixed? We got this over here. Yeah, that's there. Okay, this is probably not going to be any fun. Not unfixable, but just not fun. One of those 5-hour things. Another section of Fernand power over here. And 2.7 volts. So much for thinking that this one may be easy. Piccolo P good. Let's check R9384. R9384. Pin 2 for Piccolo P good. What happened to Apple's self-repair program? It doesn't exist. They released a PR saying that a year from now we're going to come out with some half-ass shitty program, and the media ran with it, and everybody just kind of assumed problem solved. That's the way the news cycle works. You don't even have to actually have news anymore. You just have to have a promise of news into the future, and people will buy it, hook, line, and sinker. It's really all it takes nowadays, honestly. Our education system really kind of sucks. Okay, so what do we have in this little cluster? We have a P good signal for my little Piccolo. My Piccolo. And that's going to be there. Aircraft schematics are indifferent than computer schematics. I don't base my beliefs on insurance policies, EM. Okay, so what was I just doing? Oh, this resistor. 3.3, so the P good signal is there. The P good signal is up. Storage LBEN. Let's look on this little pinpricks over here. Come on. Enabled? Indeed it is enabled. Okay. Well. So we don't have an issue with Piccolo. We don't have your standard issue corrosion by Berkelium. And we don't have your standard issue corrosion by a touch bar power button connector. That are standard reasons for this. But we do have I don't know. I don't know if that's what I want to say just yet. Does it look like there's liquid damage over there to you? Because it kind of looks like there's liquid damage over there to me. What is that? What is this? But that's not liquid damage, though. That's not green. That's not green. You know, I expect liquid damage to be green, and that's... What is that? Why can't Apple make a shut-off switch where the computer can direct the flow of water on the entrance? They could just shut off when water detected. I mean, I don't know. IBM did that 18 years ago. Why can't Apple do it? IBM did 18 years ago. You know, you gotta ask them.
Sweet mercy.
Oh my God, that is some loud, sweet mercy right there. That is some loud, sweet mercy right there. Jesus. I'm convinced that Liquid got on this at some point. I think there's a good chance that if you simply run this through the ultrasonic, you may just get rid of that error. There could just be something hiding under some BGA chip. And it's not something that I'm going to find with a microscope, but it's something that the ultrasonic will get rid of altogether. This is something where I'd put it into the ultrasonic not at the normal temperature. I may raise the ultrasonic up to 70, or dare I say it even 80 Celsius, and have it at a lower amount of time, but a higher temperature, so that I get rid of whatever is hiding underneath the chip, because this is not going to be an obvious issue. And it's something that you could easily waste hours upon hours of your time because of some smudge that's sitting somewhere. So I'm going to put this board aside. I'm going to get this into the ultrasonic cleaner later on, because streaming an ultrasonic cleaner and you literally watching a board dry, that just does not make for interesting content. Yeah, I could stream watching, you know, paint dry or something like that, but I think that would actually be even worse than the garbage viewership rate that I get right now. So you're going to leave some notes. Okay. It doesn't see internal drive. Another OS. Update error. No visible corrosion. Minor spots on board with sticky stuff. Okay, and next. Yes, that's what we do here. Next. Use any chemical in the ultrasonic. I use Branson EC. Branson EC. It's a piece of shit keyboard made by Aoki. I hate it. It's very loud and annoying. I don't know why I still have this thing. It's very, very loud. I think I got it to aggravate Paul, but now that Paul's not in the same room as me anymore, it really only aggravates me. So that's kind of karma. Okay. What do we got next in this list? Gadget Guys LLC. Oh, Tim Smith. Okay, maybe. I'll take you. I'm not taking that. Fuck that. Let's see. You must get on Joe Rogan. I've emailed like 3 or 4 times over the past 5 years. That's not happening. I'm not going to harass somebody and spam the crap out of them because I feel entitled to show up on a program. Okay, time for me to get... Be right back. Yeah, sorry, Felix. I have to make that happen. Okay, what slot was this in? You were in H19. H19. Hello, Mr. Clinton. Mr. Clinton. Mr. Clinton. Good boy. This computer has an I voted sticker on it, but I don't know who they voted for, because usually it would like say who they voted for down here. It just says I voted. You can't keep me in suspense like that. For who? For who? Oh, such a tease. Sometimes people can be such a tease. Such a tease, man. Oh yeah. Okay, let's open this up. I pay to fix my desktop even though I'm half certain it's some software thing. Warning, that story is horror, not fluffy bunnies. What's wrong with your desktop? Louis probably shaved tonight. I feel like a bum already. I can't go like more than 1 or 2 days without shaving. Can't do it. Ooh. Almost 10% dislike rate. Nice.
Sweet mercy.
Can you say hi to Clinton for me? I will tell him that you said hi the next time I get up and go out there. Thank you for the $7.99 SARS. Oh God, this computer is filled with disgusting shit. Okay, as we usually do on this channel, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to unplug the battery so that we can see how much power the board is taking by itself, because that is going to guide the future troubleshooting. Five volts, 200 milliamps, 20 volts, 60 to 80 milliamps, 150 milliamps, 40 milliamps, 220 milliamps, 10 milliamps. Yeah, there's no way there's even a point to looking at what's on the screen when it's only taking 10 milliamps. That's nothing. Don't ask Furious TV to do work, people. You are very good to your animals, Catherine. I would pay good money to have you spin my MacBook screws around on your screwdriver magnet.
Oh, sweet mercy.
Don't you threaten me with a good time. Is that a euphemism? Sounds like a euphemism, honestly. Sounds like a euphemism for a very good time. I sense some salt from PlayStation. I sense a lot of salt from him, actually. I can smell it through the monitor. My blood pressure is going up from this. The one wheel is a piece of shit, Alex. Send it over, Catherine. This is a little cable that likes to rip itself. It's glued to the board, and if you rip this, you'll lose Touch ID. Nice try, though. Nice try. It's very slim. It goes around like this, and it has adhesive holding it to the board. It's a nice little booby trap waiting for you. But I'm not gonna let that booby trap get me.
Sweet mercy.
Same way I'm not gonna let Sweet Mercy get Paul Daniels. Clinton is the best cat. He is my favorite of the three, yes. I have favoritism there. It's one of the reasons if I have children, I shouldn't have more than one kid, because I don't think I'd be able to hide the obvious favoritism. I learned that from having cats. It's very difficult for me to hide the favoritism. I'm not good at hiding the favoritism. It's kind of boring, Noah. I wasn't really as excited going into all the culture war shit as people wanted me to be. It's very interesting how many people called me a leftist New York City cuck after watching the Tim Pool stream. I just ask questions. I don't know. I guess challenging. Asking the most basic, rudimentary of challenging questions, I guess, comes across that way. Okay. Where do we put this? Which cat is better at board repair? You know, they all suck at board repair, to be honest with you. They're all lazy.
Oh, sweet mercy.
Board repair? I thought this was an Angry Ranch channel, says Quentin. It can be both. Not good at hiding favoritism either. You're definitely my favorite channel, says Mr. Vaca. There's a lot of better channels out there with more interesting content than mine, man. Okay, this is an 820-00850. It's got some hair on it. And again, it's a completely clean board. No burns, no liquid, no nothing. So we're going to dig into it a little bit more. These are no fun.
Oh, sweet mercy.
I'm not good at... All right, so I'm just going to go over some of the things that are usually the first looks. My usual first looks here, you know, like PP bus short, stuff like that. And then we'll just go through the list of power rails and see if there's any that are being held low. Do remember that this was taking about 90 milliamps at one point, but then it went back down. But it didn't go back down quickly. It went back down slowly, and that's what concerns me, because if it went back down slowly, it's likely not because of a short of some kind, but rather because it just simply doesn't want that power rail to turn on for a strange reason, and those wind up not being any fun. I much prefer it when it goes from 90 milliamps and then immediately right back down, rather than slowly, because that when it goes back down immediately, that typically denotes a short, which is brain dead board repair to do. He does not, Neil, but you already knew the answer to that before asking the question. Anyway. So if we were to do something like measure the resistance of PP bus G3 hot to ground, I believe also in this one you need PP bus G3 hot in order to get PP3G underscore G3 hot underscore RTC, which is necessary for the CD3215 to turn on, which is turning on because we're getting 20 volts in the charger. So I kind of answered my own question there before I even actually did that. I forgot this one has a mildly different architecture than the year before when it comes to the order or the sequence of power rails turning on. So as is usual, we're just going to give it a quick look under the microscope. You never know. Maybe there'll be a little Hail Mary. Maybe something will be obvious. Always happy to see something that's kind of obvious. But doesn't look like we are going to be that lucky here. No, sir. It's nice and clean. Get your backlight circuit over there, your charging circuit over here, 3.3 and 5 volt rail with a little crumb over there. You know, I might as well. If I'm in the area, I might as well just... What do I have to lose by doing a quick plug-in and, you know... How's my 3v3 and 5v5 and all that stuff doing? U7650. U7650. Oh, I forgot. Now we have G3 shit. PP5E G3 shit. We have different rails with weird names. G3 shit. I'm curious what the S stands for. Been out of this for a while. One. Wait, I'm on the wrong thing, aren't I? No, I'm not. Why are you 1 volt? Why are you 1 volt? So, oh, that's millivolts. I'm a dumbass. I didn't set the range right on the meter. Wait, no. 1 volt. Why 1 volt instead of 5? That's weird. Okay, well, I think I know where something's wrong. So let's go back to this chip. So what does this do? So this is going to be responsible for taking... This is going to be responsible for taking ppvin G3 hot underscore P3v3 G3 hot over here, which I believe is actually a subrail of ppbus G3 hot, if we're being honest with ourselves. This is ppvin G3, whatever the... that's... Okay, what is this? ppvin G3 hot, P3v3 G3 hot. Here we go. So that is a subrail. So that is ppbus G3 hot, which is the main rail for the machine, as you guys know from prior streams, is going to go through this current sensing resistor over here. And after it goes through the current sense resistor, it comes out as ppvin G3 hot, P3v3 G3 hot. This way, the computer has a way of knowing how much amperage is going to the circuit for this chip. So this chip is going to be creating your 3.3 volt rail, and it's also going to be creating your 5 volt rail at the same time. And the machine is going to want to know how much current that particular section of the machine is using, rather than just how much ppbus G3 hot entirely is using. So what it does is it creates a current sense resistor so that everything that goes past this point is now separate. It's now, after it goes to this resistor, separate rail. And this chip over here is going to be looking at the voltage on both sides, and it's going to be using the difference in the voltage to be able to calculate how much amperage it's using, and then report that to the SMC over here. And there you can see it's talking to, or the PMIC, whatever. It's talking to something. So let's just take a look at U7650. Let's take a look at the circuit and really drill down into what could be wrong here. So my first question is going to be, okay, so for the voltage into this chip is going to control these transistors. These transistors are going to turn on and off, on and off, on and off, and it's going to send pulses of 12 volts through this inductor and in these capacitors. So you're going to have a little bit of 12, a lot of 0. A little bit of 12 up here, then a lot of 0. Then a little bit of 12, then a lot of 0. It's going to turn on and off, on and off. And what's going to happen is that a little bit of 12 and a lot of 0 is going to average its way out into a nice clean 5 volts on the other side of it. That's how a switching power supply works. Or at least if you didn't go to college and you're an idiot like me, that's how you think a switching power supply works. But anyway, it's close enough. So what we're going to do is we are going to see, firstly, what is the voltage that's going into this chip. This chip is going to control the transistors, and on pin 23, I should be expecting to see, I believe, 12 or 13 volts for ppbus G3 hot. I forget what ppbus G3 hot is on this machine because, honestly, I haven't fixed the board in a really long time. But we are going to take a look over here and see what that is. So what do we have? So I'm going to take a measurement over here, which is growing more and more annoying to do every day. Let's see what we get. Oh, I didn't have it on. Crap. Multimeter on screen. Get my auto exposure and white balance and all that stuff set. And we have 12.6 volts going in. So also, I should have just made sure that was stable, actually. That was stupid of me to not do that. Let's keep my hand there for... Crap, I can't keep my hand there. Come on. Stay. 12.6 steady. Okay. Next up. Going into U7600. Do we have a steady ppvin G3 hot P5E G3 shit? Again, I'm guessing at what these freaking letters and numbers mean at this point. PPV in, power plane, voltage in, G3 hot, underscore P5V, 5 volts, G3S, G3 shit. So let's see, what do I have over here? What do I got over there? Show me, show me, show me. Over here, do I have my G3 shit? Hope I have my G3 shit. And I have my G3 shit. Okay, but my PP5E G3 shit is not what it's supposed to be. When I measure this, my PP5E G3 shit is 1 volt. Isn't there another 5 volt rail that comes out of this chip? Because this looks like the exact same voltage regulator as it was before. Here we go. PP5E S5 LDO. So I want to see what that is. Because remember, this chip is doing 3 things. It's creating 5 volts, it's creating 3.3 volts, and then it's creating this PP5E S5 LDO, which I never really used to go to anything, but let's see. So what is PP3V3 G3 hot? That's created by this chip, right? And that's going to be over here. So is it creating that at least? Let's just put the meter on the capacitor. And $3.4. There we go. So we have 3.4. Beautiful. Okay. Try Symphony. You can suck my balls. GTFO. Let's see. Automated farming. Apple is far behind IBM. What do you mean? I haven't followed farming or anything like that. Automated farming. Okay. So let's go back here. Okay. Your videos are the best way to pass time while on the job. I'm an NOC tech working night shifts, so there isn't a whole lot I could do. Well, multiple cellular sites shit their pants. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see. Okay, so next thing we do over here. So I want to see if there's a short. So again, the chip is doing its job. Keep in mind, it's getting its voltage in. Check. It is creating this rail over here. So this chip is not, it's not totally dead, even if this chip is semi, I have some trust in this chip at this point. Thank you, Fincino. This has some idea. It's doing something. This side is messed up, independent of the power bulb that came before it, and independent of the chip. Now, next thing is it actually being told to turn on? Maybe it's not being told to turn on. You can't blame the chip if it's not being told to turn on. So let's see if it's being told to turn on. Pin 4. What do we have in pin 4? What do you got here? All right. Okay, this is, where's pin? Here we go. It's going to pin 4, so we got to get pin 4 without touching anything next to it. This sucks. This. Okay, 3.4. It's being told to turn on. All right, interesting. And remember, PP5ES5, that's the other rail that needs to be checked over here. That's going to be on pin 29. Pin 29 is going to go to this little cap over here. Let's see if the LDO is correct. The LDO is correct. So I'm pretty certain at this point that we have a short on PP5E. What was it? PP5E G3 shit. Okay, so. Thank you, JMT. I really appreciate that. I know I'm going to get a bunch of shit for it, but I don't really care. Fuck. Okay, so now I think that there's a good chance that this is short to ground. So I can't measure for a short to ground without unplugging it. So I'm going to unplug this. I'm going to unplug the machine, and I'm going to see if there is a short to ground on the PP5V G3 shit. What do we have? Okay, pin 2. Pin 2. Oh, that's really lame. What? Yo, 19 kilo ohms to ground, man. Come on. That's bull. Okay. So it's not shorted, but there's 19 kiloohms to ground. That's gonna suck. Yeah, it's not gonna be fun to figure out. Okay, so something here is really off. See, it could be... Now, again, these passives don't really die very easily. Also, one sec. I'm not using the power supply right now, so I can turn that off of the screen. Those little random resistors and caps, the chances of them being dead are slim to none, honestly. Like, slim to none. Thank you, Django. I agree. 100%. So, it's not going to be one of these little passives over here. Now, there was a piece of food over there, but I don't think that little piece of food really did it either. A piece of food is not going to affect all of this. Although, granted, that is for a resistor that... The piece of food was by a resistor that is necessary for feedback on PP5E G3 shit, which is our rail that's giving us a problem, and the food is right over here. So, I mean, I don't know, just out of curiosity. Just out of, like, sheer curiosity. Jesus, come on. Jesus Christ, that's so freaking annoying. Okay, so we have 45 kiloohms on a resistor that's supposed to be 10K. $68, $70, keeps going, keeps going. And let's see the one next to it. What do we have in the one next to it? The one next to it says 18 million, 28 million. Bro, what's the one next to it supposed to be? Okay, so over here, we have, this is supposed to be 10K and 41K. And these resistors over here that are supposed to be 10K and 41K, instead of being 10K and 41K, are 80K and millions? Now, this is why this is important. So after this circuit, after this does the switching over here, I better explain this when my brain was working 7 years ago in my buck converter video. I'm not a technical repair, but right to repair. Thanks for all your hard work, even if it doesn't help me a lot here in Europe. Well, I hope it helps you in Europe. Hopefully when something gets passed and moved forward here, it helps people in other countries get stuff moving over there. Anyway, back to this. So what was I talking about? What was I just doing? I forgot what I was just... Does anybody remember what I was just talking about? Or what I was just doing? I completely forgot where I was in the stream. What was I just doing? I was looking at something near here. 5-volt circuit. 5-volt circuit? Huh. What was I looking at? Okay, where was it? Okay, so R7679 over here. Now, this is... I don't want to... I'm probably going to be calling it something that it's not, but just keep things easy. And just to try and make this simpler to understand for people who don't really understand how a buck converter works or how a switching power supply works or any of that. What we're looking for here is to give this chip an idea of what's actually happening, what it's creating. So this chip is going to tell this transistor to turn on and off, on and off, on and off, on and off, and you're going to get little slices of 12 volts that once it goes through this inductor is going to smooth it out, and the capacitor to ground is also going to help smooth it out. It's going to give you a nice even 5 volts. But the chip does want to know, hey, like, what are we actually creating? If we are creating something, fuck, I don't have that scene on this here. Resistor, yeah, thank you. I have to add that scene to here so that I can see it. One moment, and there we go. Think that works? Did that work? I'll figure that shit out later. I gotta figure that out later. Actually, you know, I'll do it now, because if I don't do it now, I'll never do it. There we go. Bada bing, bada boom, baby. Okay. So, this chip is still going to kind of want to know, like, hey, am I doing this properly? You know, again, how often do I have to switch? Because if it switches too often, you get way too many pulses at 12 volts. And if you don't switch often enough, you'll get too few pulses at 12 volts. Too many pulses at 12 volts, and you may get 6 or 7 or 8 or 10 volts. And if you get too few pulses at 12 volts, then you may get 1 volt or 2 volts, or what we're getting now. So it wants to see what it's actually creating. And this is going to be accomplished by having something going from the output over here through this resistor network, and then over here to P5VG3 shit, VFB, which I would imagine is voltage feedback or something like that, and down here to mode. Now, also, what mode are we going to set this chip to? Now, I don't know if you can find a datasheet to TPS 50980. Probably not. I know you can find a datasheet to TPS 50125, not to TPS 50980, since you're not even supposed to be able to buy a TPS 50980 because Apple fucking sucks and doesn't want people to have access to any of the shit that you need to actually be able to fix your product. So we can only guess what those things mean, but I'm going to imagine that mode means we're setting the mode of the chip. So, for instance, on an ISL 6259, there's a particular buongiorno, arrivederci. Let's see if anybody knows where that's from. Inglorious bastards. So, for instance, on an ISL 6259, you'll have a pin called cell, and that sets the amount of cells in the battery. So, for instance, on a MacBook Air, you're setting it to be 8.1 volts, and on a MacBook Pro, you're setting it to be 12 volts. Why? Because you have an additional battery cell, so you have an additional battery voltage because you have more cells in series, because that's a more powerful machine. Here, it could be a similar thing. What are we setting it to create? Do we want this to make 1 volt, 3 volts, 5 volts? Who knows? And you're going to set that based on this little resistor network, and if one of those resistors doesn't work, it may wind up putting the chip in a different mode. If the chip is in a different mode, instead of producing 1 volt, it may produce 5. Or instead of producing 5 volts, it may produce 1. So what we're going to do, we're going to see if any of those other resistors are bad. If any of them are bad in that area, we're going to replace them. And one thing that's really important to understand is that all of this occurred because of a piece of food. A piece of food did that. The hint for me to check over there was the piece of food. Now, the reason that I wanted to check this chip is because I just wanted to go down my list of voltage rails. I checked PP3V3 underscore G3 hot, PP bus G3 hot. I checked PP3V3. I checked PP5E, and that wasn't there. There's a list of power rails that you can go through in the schematic that'll tell you exactly what to do. And it doesn't tell you exactly what to do. What it does, it shows you all the different power rails. And you can usually be able to find that around page 1. And now, because Apple is Apple, and God forbid they make their documentation user-friendly in any way, shape, or form, it is now on page 96. That's right. And it is also, as I say, not in order. You do need to understand what the states mean. What is S5? What is G3 hot? G3 hot, always on. S5, on when the computer's off. S4, on when the computer is hibernating. So, for instance, you would want your trackpad or your keyboard to be on when the keyboard is hibernating, the computer's hibernating, because you use the keyboard or the trackpad to get the machine out of a hibernated state. Oreo, do not bite my microphone. I will. S3 is on when the computer's sleeping. So something like RAM, because you are going to suspend to RAM. That's where everything's saved. That's why when you open your computer, even with a shitty spinning hard drive, when it's put to sleep, it opens up really quickly because everything is suspended to RAM, not to disk, like in an S4 state, and an SO state, which is at the top. SO state is what's going to be there when the computer is on. So your screen, your CPU, USB, other peripherals like that. Actually, I don't know if the USB is a good example because some computers allow you to charge even when the computer's off. Either way, you get the idea. So this is not the exact order that the rails are going to be listed in. This is not the exact order that the rails are going to be listed in, that are going to show up in the machine. They may show up in an entirely different order altogether, so just do keep that in mind. So I was just going through the rails, and I found this one. And it just so happened to be a rail that also was right next to a piece of food. So, you want a piece of food, Oreo? You want a piece of food, you little kitty? Come here, give me some static, boy. Give me some ESD. Good boy, good boy. Give me some ESD. Who's a good little kitty? Who's a good little kitty? Oh, yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Who's a good little ESD safe kitty? You're my ESD safe kitty, aren't you? Yes, you are an ESD safe kitty. Who's a good little ESD safe kitty. That's a good boy. That's a good boy. That's a good little Oreo. Okay, now Oreo, I gotta fix this board, okay? I can't have you on my lap while I'm fixing a board, okay? I'm gonna need you to GTFO now, okay? Oreo, you little Oreo? 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 Where are you, Oreo? Oh, where are you? Man, he is so cute. This is a fucking cute cat right here. That's an adorable fucking animal. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. Oreo, you gotta fuck off now, alright? Oreo. More than every other shop, court PO, and that's all I need to say. Hi, where's my kitty? That's a good boy. Okay, really, fuck off. I gotta go. Come on. Let me get to work. I'm gonna touch my power supply over here in order to de-shock myself and get myself a donor board. David, did you pet Oreo today? You have to pet Oreo. Because if you don't pet Oreo, he's going to make me pet him all day. This MacBook got killed by a goddamn crumb of food. Can you believe this piece of shit computer? That's all it takes to kill it? Crumb of food. Okay, so what I want to do here is I just want to check and make sure that on the donor board the resistance value is different. So this way I know if I actually figured out my problem. Okay, so on the board I was working on, it went up to 80 to 100K, and here it's only 8K, which means there is a difference. And remember the resistor next door that was getting us a measurement way higher was like in the millions? Over here it's not. So I'm just going to replace that entire bank of resistors with resistors from a donor board over here that is hopefully going to fix our problem and give us a computer that turns on. And if this MacBook turns on, we'll be able to return it to a happy owner that'll be happy to have their data back as well. Do keep in mind that this machine, I had a stray follow me home today. I fed it. What should I name it? Intruder. I would name it Intruder. PCH_intruder_L. PCH_intruder_L. It's actually a signal on a MacBook. Let's see if it's in this one. Yeah, see? This is what you name it. PCH_intruder_L. Right here. Because that's what it is. It's an intruder. It followed you home to... That's what I should have named Oreo. Oh, Tamaz, that's awesome. Thank you so much. That's amazing. People like you are going to change the world for the better, you know that? Oh shit, Paul Daniels' software is fucking crashing. It's crashing OBS. Oh no. I zoomed in way too much in Paul Daniels' software and it almost crashed OBS. Paul Daniels. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to replace those resistors and then we're going to see if it works. And I may replace anything around it that kind of looks bad as well. So let's get that started. I'm just going to turn on the fume extractor. We're going to get the microscope camera in view. I don't need this nonsensical multimeter view in place anymore. And yeah, that's about it. Again, this computer over here got killed by a piece of food. The resistance grows over time because you're not actually, well, you're measuring the resistor in circuit, so it's charging everything around it. So the multimeter sends voltage through one way and tries to see what comes out in the other end. And the thing is, I'm not taking the resistor off of the board to measure it because that is an absolute and utter waste of my time. Here's the other thing. Since there's going to be multiple pathways that the electricity could take, you're never going to get a value that is higher than what you're supposed to as a result of measuring the resistor in circuit. And resistors tend to fail by going higher in value, not lower in value. So if the resistor is higher in value, I know that it's dead without having to take everything off on the board. Again, you can get a lower resistance, but you can easily get a lower resistance than what the resistor actually is, because if there's multiple pathways around on the board to get from one side to another, then the resistor can show up as a lower in value. But it's not going to show up higher in value because you're measuring it in parallel with everything else. And that's what a lot of people say. They say, Louis, you're not getting an accurate reading on the resistor because you're measuring it, on the board with everything else on it. I don't care if I get an accurate reading. I care if I get a reading that tells me whether or not it's broken. And since the resistance is not going to go up I mean, it's not going to go down. It's only going to go up if I have other stuff on the board. Then I don't really care. Death by breadcrumb. Better hope I didn't send 12 volts to the side again. Death by breadcrumb, honestly. Not seen a live stream from you in over a year. How's it going? Yeah, I used to put them on another channel, but one of the things I noticed is that that wasn't really... It didn't really make any sense to be doing. So I have board repairs on edited on one channel and live on the other. It also doesn't make sense to edit these because nobody watches this shit anyway. But so I'm just gonna do live border. If I want to do a live board repair, I'll do it to this channel. I also kind of gave up on this channel since it's kind of dead already as it is. I don't think I could make it any more dead if I tried. And speaking of dead, check out what's going on with my micro pencil tip. Come on, heat up, heat up. Come on. Is my micro pencil tip really dead? Yo. Oh crap, I think my soldering iron's actually dead. No way. Dude. Come on. Oh yeah, it's not heating up anymore. You gotta be kidding. One moment. I think I actually broke this soldering station. Oh my, okay, I actually hit a bunch of buttons and it said F and then C on the station. I think it's about to spell fuck. Okay, I'm not gonna use the micro pencil iron, that's fine. Thank you, Penguin. I hope they reverse their horrible decision. My iron is really dead. Seriously? Both of them are dead, actually. Oh, this is fun. Okay, which one's on? I can't even tell. Okay, the micro pencil's on. Okay, so thank you, P. Wagner Picard. I love watching repair videos, they're fascinating. I also appreciate you link tools in the description. Well, I appreciate when you buy them because I get a commission from it. Actually, even if you don't buy the stuff in the description, I get a commission if you buy something else. What a system, right? It was a boring one for me, Stu. That wasn't very interesting. Thank you, Brett. I appreciate it. I feel like I was playing a game of avoiding getting baited into having a low-resolution culture war discussion. What I mean by low resolution is making broad generalizations without, like, looking into things. Moderator. Do we have a moderator? Ooh, I still got it. Snap that right into place. I don't have a dream vacation. Thank you, Matthew B. Sweet mercy. Sweet mercy. Sweet, sweet mercy. My sweetest mercy. Okay. Let's see if we have any progress. What do you guys think? Any progress? Plug this bitch in. Yeah? Yo, come on. Okay, 150 milliamps? 240 milliamps? Yeah! 560 milliamps, baby. This bitch is turning on. Alright, let's see. Is Pipe PP5V G3 shit there? Yeah, I'm gonna see an Apple logo on this, aren't I? Okay. Woohoo! Oh, you couldn't see that. 5 volts, baby! 5 volts! Ugh! Alright. That was an easy one, admittedly. Okay, let's see if we get anything on the screen. And then after that, this board will go to the ultrasonic cleaner. Dun, dun, dun. Another one bites the dust. Dun, dun, dun. Another one bites the dust. Da 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 da. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. What was the ticket number of this? This is 4697. Okay, need to leave notes. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, sweet mercy.
Thank you, Dirty NR. Okay, now we're going to see if I get a picture on the screen. I'm going to get myself this little baggie to put all the screws and pieces into so you don't lose anything. I like buying a bunch of the shirt that I like because I hate clothes shopping with a passion. Most things I intensely dislike, I don't hate them, but clothes shopping is something I hate. I really genuinely hate it. So I probably have like 10 of these shirts or something. And I have like 10 of the same short sleeve shirt too. So I have a short sleeve shirt and then this and then that's that. Like there's a light blue V-neck that I like. I think I probably have 6 or 7 of them. My God, Jesus. What is with the fucking spam? You guys don't give up. Okay. Let's see if this boots. Boot into an operating system, baby. Give me an operating system. Come on. Any comments on Repair Desk? I have none. I think Repair Shopper got sold to somebody else, so I'm gonna have to wind up switching at some point. This is good. Ah, that was I almost Linused it right there. The board almost fell on the floor. Anyway, so that's about that. So that is a fixed board, and the reason that this is an important repair to do is because this machine does not have a lifeboat connector on it like the old ones did. So if you don't fix the board, you don't get your data. You're just kind of screwed. So I'm happy that this worked. I'll drink a bottle of water to that. Hot boys and girls in the area need to be heard. Who? There's no hot boys on this stream. I don't throw my multimeter leads with a win. I don't know. If I do, it's probably not something I realize I'm doing as I'm doing it. I love that Future Motion is going out of their way to try and deceive the shipping company to claim that the... Yeah, this is something else. Ah, wrong screen. 1 second. How do I change this? How do I... Look at this. So, in this video, I'm going over how Future Motion was continuing to fuck over the user. They're claiming that you're not able to replace the battery or service the battery yourself because, you know, you may not be able to do it perfectly. Yet they sell the boards with this bullshit PCB for battery charging that fucking burns up. And another thing that they did is they were actually deceiving the shipping company and not listing the material as a battery or a hazardous material. And yeah, somebody said blacking out the hazard signs in the box goes way beyond not caring. It's probably criminal. So I gave that a heart. It is criminal. Firstly, you're lying to the logistics company and your users. Then you're putting the shipping company's vehicles, workers, and reputation at risk. And to top it off, you're blackmailing people into doing your crime if they want to receive the service they paid for, who are the customers who are shipping their products back to Future Motion to get fixed. So, like, they are, like, fuck Future Motion. I mean, to lie to the shipping company about what's inside the package when it's a battery and then claim that you're the only one that's qualified to safely service a battery, like, these people are absolute and utter scum. Like, these people are absolute fucking scum. That company is I still stand behind everything that I said in terms of that company actually being worse than Apple. They are worse than Apple. Just a garbage company. All right, let me grab another one. 18. Did you put him up there or did he jump up there? Yeah, he has arthritis, so he doesn't jump very often. But he cries. Did he look at you and cry? He'll actually look at you and go. He's adorable. What a cat. What a Porio. What a Porio he is. Hey everybody, how's it going? Today we're going to be working on an A1466 MacBook that's not turning on. This is kind of an old machine at this point. I've been telling Paul that the day is going to come someday where nobody wants this fixed ever again. Shipping hazmats generally cost more money, especially at higher weights, so this sounds like cost cutting to me since I run a FedEx contract. I manage waste for DuPont. Mislabeling hazardous materials in shipping can violate federal regulations with fines and possible criminal penalties. Oh my god, I hope they really come down on future motion for that shit. They deserve it, because they doubled and tripled down on the anti-repair stuff and, you know, pretending their customers are idiots. Like, I hope, oh man. They deserve everything they're going to get.
Oh, sweet mercy.
Also, thank you. They aren't afraid of the penalties. They are afraid of the customers not buying product anymore. They will go bankrupt, just build an e-bike or your own board.
Oh, sweet mercy.
Why do you have a YouTube channel? I don't know. Why do you comment and chat? Useless shit. I just started training for SMT production at my job. I can't wait to learn all the skills you know. Where would someone with electronic knowledge work? I don't know. I kind of made this job for myself because I could never get hired anywhere else. So since I could never find a job, I kind of made my own. All right. I'm going to turn the power supply back on because I actually use it for this. I'm going to put the power supply on the screen so you can see it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to try and figure out how many amps this uses when the battery is not plugged in, because that's what's going to give us an idea of what's really going on. And the first thing I notice is that the charger doesn't actually fit into the port. Maybe there's some dirt in there or something. Yeah, I don't think... Oh, it's making some contact. I miss these streams. Have a coffee on me. Hello, Coder, how are you? Somebody was asking about using a different drive on an Xbox. I suggested they go over to your channel to get an answer. So this is making contact now because it's using 12 milliamps. Do note that we're not getting a green light in the charger, which probably means that pp3v3 underscore g3... Wait, no. pp3v42 underscore g3 hot is missing. Wow, I must be high. I'm getting the power rails all mixed up and everything. Jesus. Okay, so pp3v42 underscore g3 hot has a good chance of being missing. Let's just see if I'm correct with that. Oh, and I can already see a little bit of corrosion right by that area. Alas, that's actually there. That's not the problem then. Our SMC being off is the problem because remember pp-bash G3 hot would be 8.56 volts, not 8.19 volts if the SMC were on. So we'll just go over that in the schematic. So what am I doing? What in God's name am I doing? What am I measuring and why? So the green light is not on. there's a 3-volt power line that needs to be present because it powers everything on this board that allows the charger to speak to something called the system management controller chip that's under there that is going to communicate with the charger and get the charger to have a green light. And that power rail is present. So the next thing I wanted to do is I wanted to see if that chip under there is actually on. Now, there is communication that goes on this board. I'm just going to open up a schematic to the 820-00165 so that you all can follow along at home and show you what it is that I'm even talking about. So if you go over here and you go to the ISL 6259 chip, this chip over here on my right, this produces a power rail called PP-Bus G3 Hot. PP-Bus G3 Hot. Now, when this chip is going to speak to the SMC, right? And once it speaks to the SMC, it's going to choose its final voltage, which is 8.55 volts. However, before it speaks to the SMC, it will produce a voltage based on whether or not you are sending 3.42 volts to charger cell or whether charger cell is tied to ground. That's what I was talking about before. So whether this produces, 4 volts, 8 volts, 12 volts, 16 or whatever, that's going to depend on what's going on with charger cell. So when you tie charger cell to ground, it is going to create 8.15 to 8.19 volts. However, once it communicates with the SMC, that is when it will actually produce 8.55. If communication with the SMC is not happening for any reason whatsoever, then it will not. Now, remember, the SMC is the chip that's actually going to communicate with the charger on the one-wire line. So let's just find you sys1 wire over here. Sys1 wire. This is going to be what communicates with the charger. Got told a story day one about FedEx. FedEx about a shipper not labeling a hazmat. A box of lithium-ion batteries was crushed by barbells, a few tumbles and scrapes down the belt, and a fire started, moved 50 feet before noticed. And this is the type of thing that Future Motion is going to be doing by not labeling it when they're shipping large products with large batteries. And again, a company that talks about battery safety getting banned by FedEx? Bro. Anyway. Back here. So sys1 wire is going to go from the SMC, sys1 wire over here, SMC, all the way to the DC-in board, and then from the DC-in board, I want to get a new laptop soon. The new 14 Pro is pretty great for video editing. What do you think of a laptop in the 2000 range? If you want something that has an amazing processor and if you want something with an amazing processor and really good battery life, get a MacBook. If you want something that's going to last more than a couple of years, get a ThinkPad or a framework. Got told a story, I think I read that one. Thank you very much to both of you. So sys1 wire is going to be SMC, DC-in, DC-in, to the little chip over there, and then to here. Now, if the SMC is not on, which we've ascertained by telling that PP-Bus G3 Hot is 8.2 volts rather than 8.5, yep, that means that there's nothing for this to talk to. So we got to figure out why that is the case. So what I would like to do is first thing, if the SMC is even being told to turn on. So we have SMC reset over here. U5110 is going to be SMC reset L. Let's see if the SMC is in reset mode. If you have your computer and you're literally pressing the reset button on the front of it, it's probably not going to turn on. It's going to be stuck. Technically, power is going through it, but you're not going to get anything on the screen. And the same is going to be true when it comes to something like SMC reset. Now, SMC reset is high, which means at this point, there's either corrosion on the SMC or the SMC is bad. And I don't want that to be the case, but let's see. I'm going to bet there's a little bit of corrosion in the SMC. We're going to give it a reflow. It's going to work. Hello, Gravitite. How are you? Thank you for... you're more than welcome here in Florida. What part of Florida are you in, Gravitite? Thank you very much. It's very kind of you. The Xbox One consoles don't need to be repaired. Just make sure the disk drive daughterboard is present. I do this for a living and I don't understand it. Yeah, Coder, there's a guy earlier in the stream that had a question about Xbox drives. I don't know if I could find it. I felt bad because I couldn't answer him and he paid $5.
Oh, sweet mercy.
With you growing up Italian, you ever eaten Sunday sauce pasta and bread? I'm cooking it today. No, I didn't. I honestly didn't really engage in much Italian culture, except a lot of my family members would, talk with their hands and scream at each other on the phone. That's pretty much the only part of Italian culture I think I took part in as a kid. You know what? I'm going to deal with you later, DCN board. We'll come back for you. It's not very nice. You don't want to come out the way that you used to.
Oh,
You
sweet mercy.
And you swallow, adds 93. You swallow. Nonsense. I know that Hi has fed you just today. Arrivederci, sooner Pachin. Arrivederci. Buongiorno. What is it that Brad Pitt said in Inglourious Bastards? I forget his line. I think it was buongiorno. Yes. Buongiorno. Good stuff. Oh my god. Fuck you and your spam. GTFO. There's always this little screw that likes to hide over here that you'll see people rip the heatsink out and it'll be missing a piece because they don't realize there's a screw over there. Okay, so the SMC looks perfectly clean. That sucks. That means that the SMC is likely bad and needs replacing. There's no corrosion on the SMC. SMC reset L is high, and there's no... Oh, man. Oh, this is going to be... boo. Boo. I don't want to replace an SMC. I don't even know where the jig is anymore, to be honest with you. I found by setting the chat to sub-only mode and then setting a set to be subscribed for 1 minute helps the spam massively. You know, I probably should do that. That would probably make sense. Oh, I forgot. The SMC could be reset by the trackpad. Oh my god, what if it was the trackpad all along and I took this off for no reason? I forgot. Oh, dude. But then again, SMC reset always high, so the whole thing with the trackpad is SMC LSOC reset or whatever. I don't think that's what it is. One way to see. One way to find out, right? One way to find out. Twist this a little bit. Yeah, it wasn't the trackpad because it's still off. Lame. Okay, so SMC mode is in the right mode. TDS, TDO, TCK, TCL, all high. SMC reset. L is high. SMC LSOC reset is high. My morale and will to work is low. What would be the best way to learn soldering? Start. Get a station, buy some shit to work on, and have fun. I think I'm gonna have to leave to get something to eat in a few. So I will have to cut the stream short. I'm getting hungry. And I gotta get some food. If you can't fix the customer's product, what do you charge them? $0. If somebody charges you for something that they cannot fix, you have been scammed. At least in this industry, I think. It's different if you're dealing with stuff where, like, it takes 5 hours to take apart. But in this industry, if somebody's charging you without fixing it, I believe you've been scammed. The only time we charge people without fixing it are for extremely, like, where we won't refund your deposit is for certain data recoveries where, like, you know, we need to buy $500 worth of donors just to be able to actually even work on your drive, which may or may not be recoverable. But those are rare cases. They're few and far between, and we let people know that they can get it back at no charge before we move forward, if that is going to be the case. But yeah, you can tell a lot about the ethics of a repair shop if they're going to charge you a good amount of money, or if they're going to charge you for something that they were not able to fix. You know. And the thing is, at the end of the day, it'll come back to you. I was going to keep, you know, I was thinking of leaving the stubble, but there was somebody that liked the stubble that I don't, how do I put this? I wind up, all the wrong women wind up finding me attractive when I grow my beard out. And all the women that are the right women tend to like me without it. We do a video where we react to people's repairs. I uploaded a doozy and would love to react to them. I don't, I'm not sure. I've never, I did a reaction to Jay's 2 cents, and that was it. I think maybe Linus 7 years ago. I don't use my framework because it was stolen 7 months ago. Actually, 6 months. It was stolen 6 months ago, Gabriel. So that's why I don't use it. I don't have a place that doesn't charge for at least labor costs. I mean, listen, that's the thing. It's not your fault that I couldn't fix your stuff. So why should you have to pay? Like, how is that your problem as a customer? How is it your problem as a customer that I couldn't figure out your problem and fix it? So, you know, what I do is, again, everybody here knows how to deny jobs that are going to be miserable. We'll say no to shit that's going to be miserable. We say no to, you know, it's my responsibility to train my staff to know when to give up on something so that I don't pay them for 8 hours to work on one thing that's not fixable. But that's on me. That's not on you. It's not on you, the customer, to pay me to not fix your shit. That's just... Also, when people pay and their stuff doesn't work, that's not really good for getting people to like right to repair. Right to get billed even if we don't fix your stuff, I don't know. That's... Why do you need to know sooner? Why the hell do you need to know? Why do I have to repeat that shit? Louis... Yeah, Solder King, send me a link. Louis@rossmanngroup.com. I can't promise I'll get to it immediately, but send me a link and I'll check out what you did. Any change? Any change? Any change? Holy, what? Do I have a light? Oh, shit. Okay. Yeah? A light? So that's probably a dead SMC. And that will have to be replaced by Mr. Paul. Yeah, we got a little bit of life there, see? Now, to be clear, don't fucking reflow dead chip. Technically, an SMC is different. It's not a flip chip design, so it's not really... you know, subject to the same rules as a GPU or anything like that. But as you can see, I reflowed the SMC, and after reflowing the SMC, I am getting 8.5 volts for PPBush G3 Hot. And also we have a light and the fan is spinning. So it was a bad SMC. Or corrosion under it, or a cracked ball or something. Either way, I don't really think I'd want to trust that SMC. That's going to get replaced, but I don't have the jig to it, so by me replacing it, what I actually mean is Paul replacing it. Paul won't mind. He loves the old MacBook Air. So hopefully that makes sense to you. People would think this kind of work is only worth $30. Fuck them. Listen, I don't give a fuck what somebody thinks something is worth. It's what I don't give a shit what somebody else thinks my time is worth. I know what my time is worth, and if you think that my time is worthless, then go somewhere else or fix it yourself. Listen, I put up all the info online and had to do your own shit. Like these videos, I mean, I'm kind of tired of explaining everything from scratch, so these videos are not as educational. But like, there's over 600 of them. You know, if somebody thinks that the amount of time and work and effort it takes to become good at this, and also to not screw up people's shit, because that's the thing. It's not just about knowing what you're doing. It's also about not screwing up people's shit. Is worth $30. I don't know. Find somebody who's willing to do this for $30. And the thing is, people that are willing to do this for $30, they reflow CPUs, they knock shit off the board, they probably lose your data, and I don't know. But oh my god, so many fucking bots. But yeah, this needs a new SMC. Now, again, the SMC is not a flip chip design, but I'm just not going to trust that chip because you saw in the beginning it was doing the quarter fan spinning thing, and then it started working afterwards, which means that SMC is most likely dead. What I wanted to do is I wanted to figure out if this was, you know, I kind of wanted to get some sort of reaction from the board, so I can get an idea of what is wrong and whether or not I should continue. 47098. Okay, let me get this in here.
Oh, sweet mercy.
Sweet mercy. Thank you, Comstech. So this is going to need a new SMC. By new, I mean a used one from another board. Does working out regularly help mood such as anxiety, depression? What's your experience, please? A lot more than I thought. Have a nice dinner, Louis, says Carrie. Thank you, Carrie. Also, I'm going to make you a mod. We're going to put you to work so that you can get rid of all these damn spam bots. Yeah, it really has. I'll be honest. It's definitely decreased my my stress levels. It has made me less depressed even when things don't go my way. The things that I cannot control, I don't really care about as much. It really has, yeah, the exercise has helped me out a lot. Doing the extra exercise has helped me out a lot. I'm very happy with it. Very happy with the results. You need more mods in here. Yes, I do. Also, I actually should be charging my headphones before I put some stuff back over here. More mods is definitely needed. Us mods can say titties without being held for review. For you mere mortals, you have to gain approval from the spam. Yes. There's a kitty over there. I see a kitty. That's a kitty. It's a kitty cat. That is a kitty cat. Meow meow. Did you meow, David? Did you meow, hi hi? That was David meowing, wasn't it? You're a strange man. You're wearing cat ears, hi hi. And you're meowing. I'm going to turn the camera now so that they can see that that's not me hallucinating. My kitty is pregnant. What did Clinton do to her? Well, people, I'm going to sign off for today, all right? I'll see you guys later. I'm going to get something to eat. Thank you very much for attending the stream. I really appreciate it. If you like this stream, if you want more of them, let me know, and maybe I'll do more of these into the future on the main channel and just let the other channel become the random shitposting channel, and this will be the random board repair streams, random everything else, and let me know. Comments are down below. Thank you very much, and I'll see you later.